Hi, my name is Blair Glenn. I'm an ISA certified arborist. I was asked today to look at a row of Italian cypress at a residence in Sunnyvale. The homeowner asked me to reduce the height of all these trees down to a hedge height, presumably 16 feet or so, and cut back all the branches that are hanging out from the wind and shave it back and, in essence, make it an Italian cypress hedge. I advised her against this, and I'd like to explain why. Italian cypress, and all the cypress trees as a matter of fact, including some of the Monterey pines, the deodar cedars, and some of the other conifers in our area, are suffering from a disease called pitch canker. Pitch canker seems to be transmitted by insects, and the trees that are most susceptible to this disease are the ones that are harshly pruned. So if I am going to come up here and cut these trees in half to create a hedgerow out of this, I had to warn my client that there is a possibility that one of these trees that now has an excessive amount of pitch exudating from these large cuts is going to attract insects that will very possibly transmit this pitch canker disease. And what happens if you lose one or two of these? A hole in this hedge is just not acceptable. You would not be able to replace it. You would not even have the opportunity for the side plants to fill in because all the foliage in these crowded situations usually dies back. So my recommendation to these people was to allow these trees to continue to grow tall, cut back the ones that are falling out of shape, the ones that are looking very unsightly, do a light shearing on the one side and clean it up on the bottom so that it gives it a better appearance, but allow these trees to be much more natural. Sometimes in our efforts to do what we believe is the right thing, we create a larger problem. In this case, the privacy between the two properties is very important. Both of the neighbors really enjoy this privacy. If we made the mistake of over-pruning these trees or cutting them back in such a harsh manner as to invite a very real problem, then the work that we do on these would be for naught. The very first tree was removed for some reason. Apparently it was breaking the retaining wall, and I advised the client not to take this stump out. We can certainly cut it down closer to the ground. But in the efforts of grinding out this stump, there are a lot of roots that are intermingled, and that would create a weakness on the end plant. So even removing a tree has to be thought out in terms of how it's going to affect the entirety of the row. There is also a disparity in the way that this tree has been maintained throughout its life. This is the neighbor's side, and they don't trim it back. They don't cut it back with hedge trimmers. They don't keep it sheared back like the other side has been. So it has a much more natural look. If this is acceptable, so be it. Then it becomes a lower maintenance hedgerow to deal with. If you over prune this side, it's very likely that you're going to expose a lot of dieback. And pay attention to the very first tree where the corner tree was removed. There is a large area of dieback that may very well be permanent. You're not going to suddenly have new branches erupting from this area. It may fill in some from overlapping branches, but anytime a single has to be taken out of a group, there's going to be a consequence resulting in bare spots and dieback. So once again, my name is Blair Glenn. I am an ISA certified arborist, and these are my thoughts about Italian cypress.